Thank you for joining me on my channel today. I originally found this recipe on another YouTuber's channel, and I will leave a link down below to her video in the description box. And I did the recipe at home according to her directions, and they turned out really good. So the recipe already is a good base recipe for fried chicken strips. And I thought this time when I fixed them I'd add a couple of my own touches, and I thought I'd just record it and let you see how I've decided to try to do mine this time. So stick around with me as I show you the ingredients that I'll be using in this recipe. Okay, I have about a pound, maybe 2 pounds of chicken tenderloins. I'm going to be using some of this Hidden Valley Ranch dressing seasoning mix, some Parmesan cheese, that's the powdered kind. I'll also be using some salt, pepper, and some paprika. And I will also be using some vegetable oil to do the frying. And I will be using this square bowl with a lid for mixing the dry ingredients, but if you have a large Ziploc bag you can use that instead and have less to clean up afterwards. So let me get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is begin combining my dry ingredients in this bowl. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this whole container of the dry powdered Parmesan cheese and dump it in the bowl. And I'll just kindly chop up the big chunks to make them smaller. Okay. Now, my recipe probably isn't going to need all this mixture, but this Parmesan cheese that I bought was like 99 cents, fairly cheap, so I'm not too worried about having excess left over. I'll just dump it in the trash what's left. So, you know, you can tweak this to your satisfaction of how you want to fix it. Okay, the next ingredient I'm going to add is the ranch seasoning mix, and I've measured out about 3 tablespoons of the mix. So I'm just going to dump that in. Okay, next I'm going to add about a tablespoon of salt, and this is a half teaspoon measuring spoon, so I'm going to put 2 of those in. 1, 2, and I'm going to add about half of a teaspoon of black pepper. And next I'm going to add about a teaspoon of paprika. There's 1/2, and that makes 1. Put the lid on it, seal it, make sure it's closed, and just give it a good shake. Okay, for my next step I have about a tablespoon or 2 of water in this bowl, and I'm just going to crack this egg into my bowl. And with my fork I'm going to break that yolk up and get that well mixed by beating it together with the water. Okay, now I'm going to begin by taking each one of the chicken strips and dipping it into the egg mixture, and then I'm going to place them in this bowl of the dry powdered mix, and then I'm going to give those a shake with the lid on and get them well coated and set them on my plate to the side. Let that drip off really good. Try to place it in the dry mixture. Let all the excess liquid drain off and place it in the powder mixture. Okay. Seal it up. Give it all a good shake. And place them on my plate. And I'm just going to repeat those steps until I get the rest of the chicken tenderloins coated up with the dry mix, and I'll bring you back then. Okay, I'm going to pour just enough of this oil to create about a ½ inch layer in the bottom of my pan, just enough to fry the chicken tenders in. And I'm going to turn my burner to about a medium-high heat and allow this to come up to temp, and when it gets hot enough to start frying the chicken strips, I'll bring you back then. Okay, my oil has gotten pretty hot, so what I'm going to do is just take a crumb off of one of these chicken strips and drop it into my oil and see if it starts frying. And it does, so I'm going to begin putting my chicken strips, just a few at a time, into my cooker and allow them to brown and cook through. And when they have cooked through, I'll place them over onto a wire rack that I have setting on a baking pan so that they can drain, and that way the coating on them will stay crispier. So once I get all these done, I'll bring you back then. Okay, my chicken is done, so now I'm just going to cut into a piece of it and give it a try. It's nice and tender. It's really good. It has a lot of flavor and it's really delicious. It's every bit as good as your typical flour-based coating for your fried chicken. Plus you're not getting all those extra carbs in it that you really don't need anyway. So this would be a great alternative for anybody trying to watch their carb intake. So yeah, I'm glad I tried it. I'm very pleased with how it turned out, and I thank you all for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed my video. If so, please remember to like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment and share my video, and if you'd like to be notified each time I upload a new video, be sure to click on the notification bell below. Be sure to check out my social media links, and thank you for watching.